They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but some cars from the 1970s challenge even the most forgiving aesthetics. The 1970s were a revolutionary time for car design, an era marked by bold experiments and dramatic shifts away from traditional automotive aesthetics. While some of these experiments resulted in iconic cars that are cherished even today, others ended up being memorable for all the wrong reasons. In automotive history, the 1970s were a daring time typified by aggressive experimentation in vehicle design. Some manufacturers were lucky. They introduced design features that would impact the next generation of cars, therefore influencing their success. Others were less lucky. A handful of these audacious tests produced what could only be called design disasters. Some cars featured odd body forms, dismal colors, and dubious plastic tops. Not only were these design features limited to minor manufacturers, but some of the most aesthetically ugly automobiles from the era came from established businesses with decades of expertise under their belts. 1974 AMC Pacer. Among the clear examples of vehicle designs gone wrong during a decade of aggressive experimentation is the 1975 AMC Pacer, renowned for its unusual dimensions. The Pacer was distinguished by a low and wide stance that drew analogies to an overstuffed toad. Its asymmetrical door design, the passenger side door was clearly bigger than the driver's side, added to their odd look. The Pacer's rear seemed as though it was an afterthought, finished off by a clumsy glass hatch. Though original, this design did not appeal to the automotive world and lacked a positive legacy in car design history. Its unusual appearance began to represent the dangers connected with deviating too far from traditional car design. 1977 Pinto. Ford unveiled the Pinto in 1977, a car that would go legendary for reasons other than its unusual form. Looking at the Pinto, its front bumper was clearly visible and its appearance was generally disorganized. Still, given its safety flaws, the cosmetic problems were small. A design defect in the gasoline tank location caused the Pinto to be prone to exploding upon rear impact collisions, therefore generating serious safety issues and catastrophic controversy. This flaw permanently damaged the car's reputation and became a case study in automotive safety failures in addition to endangering its occupants' safety. 1970 AMC Gremlin. The 1970 AMC Gremlin is another memorable example from an era of experimental auto design. Marketed as a budget-friendly option, the Gremlin was priced at two-thirds the cost of typical small cars, making it an economically attractive choice during its time. However, the design of the Gremlin was less appealing. It was often criticized for appearing incomplete and described humorously as two-thirds of a car. Despite its lackluster appearance, though, the Gremlin achieved commercial success, highlighting the consumer market's prioritization of cost over aesthetics during that period. The design could have been even less appealing, as AMC initially toyed with a shortened version of the Hornet, which was ultimately rejected for being exceedingly unattractive. 1975 Chrysler Cordoba. The 1975 Chrysler Cordoba was an attempt to epitomize personal luxury, but it perhaps took the concept too far. Measuring nearly 18 feet in length, the Cordoba was a giant on the road, yet paradoxically, it could only comfortably seat 4 passengers. This disproportionate use of space highlighted an era of excess in automotive design that did not necessarily translate to practicality or functionality. The aesthetics choices for the Cordoba were also questionable. The headlights appeared as if they were an afterthought, flanking a boxy radiator grille that did little to enhance its appeal. The result was a car that, despite its grandeur and attempts at luxury, failed to resonate effectively with consumers looking for both style and substance in their vehicles. 1974 Thunderbird. The 1974 Thunderbird took a radical departure from its previously understated design ethos. In a bold move, Ford transformed the front end of the car to prominently feature what could only be described as a giant beak. This design choice was jarring and departed significantly from the Thunderbird's traditionally more refined aesthetics. the focus seemed misplaced, emphasizing thunder far more than bird, leading to a design that many found unappealing. This iteration of the Thunderbird is often remembered not for its performance or luxury, but for its controversial and highly criticized appearance, which turned a once beloved model into a subject of automotive ridicule. 1970 Porsche 914. The 1970 Porsche 914 challenges the norms of sports car designs with its distinct mid-engine layout, which inherently creates a challenge in achieving balanced proportions. This Porsche model is notorious for the vast space between the B-pillar and the rear wheel, contributing to its unique but awkward profile. The design includes a sharply swept back greenhouse and an extremely boxy body that lacks the unusual adornments expected on a sports car. Despite its unconventional appearance, the 914 has embraced its dorkiness, a trait that has garnered it a particular niche of admirers. While the Porsche 914 may not embody the dreamlike allure typically associated with the brand, it stands out as a testament to Porsche's willingness to explore and innovate, even if the results diverge sharply from traditional expectations of style and aesthetics in the sports car category. 1970 Bond Bug. Though it was named after the great British secret agent 007, the 1970 Bond Bug lacked the grace and style usually connected with him. Innovative personal transportation vehicle with three-wheeled Bond Bug was compared to an inexpensive hot tub on wheels, but with a windshield and headlights. The car never developed a devoted fan base and barely ran 4 years in production despite great marketing initiatives. Though at first glance intriguing, its unusual and unconventional design fell short of the realistic expectations of the automotive sector, and it finally sank into obscurity. 1975 Bricklin SV1. The 1975 Bricklin SV1 is a case study of good intentions distorted by inadequate performance. Designed with the intention of providing a unique safety car, the finished design looked more like an overweight duck poised incorrectly for flight. Critics of the car also focused on its inside, which suffered from bad build quality, limited visibility, and unpleasant seating. Together with additional design defects, these problems caused a slow production run that concluded just 2 years after it started, therefore making the Bricklin SV1 an unforgettable failure in the automotive history. 1971 Mercury Cougar. Designed to follow the venerable second-generation Mustang, the 1971 Mercury Cougar offered an interesting paradox in terms of automotive style and intent. The weight of about 4,000 pounds and length of 17 feet of a vehicle meant to be a two-door sports car was perplexing. The car's distinctive look included extended headlights and a grille that strangely matched the snout of a fox. The Cougar's mass and unusual appearance did not fit the sleek and agile image usually expected of a sports automobile. Hence, these design decisions made the car unique for the incorrect reasons. 1970 Saab Sonet 3. Aimed at appealing to American consumers, the Saab Sonet 3 borrowed a foolish lead from Americans favoring automobiles with significant front overhangs, a design choice that ultimately proved more of a comedy than a feature. The Sonet 3 arrived with an overly long front end, made worse by a big 5-mile-per-hour safety bumper that stood out sharply against its rather short tail. American consumers, who mostly rejected the Sonet 3 until the subsequent release of the more balanced and visually pleasant Saab 900, which eventually won Saab significant attention in the US market, did not connect well with the disproportionate design. Austin Allegro. The Austin Allegro, affectionately dubbed the Flying Pig in the UK, serves as a prime example of a car design that might have missed its mark. Manufactured by British Leyland, which housed a collection of car makers, the Allegro was an attempt to blend practical family-friendly features with a compact design. Despite these intentions, the Allegro emerged with a rounded, somewhat plump appearance that, while perhaps aiming for cute and cuddly, often stretched the imagination a bit too far. British Leyland's design aesthetic at the time seemed somewhat outdated, as if the team was trapped in a design time warp, consistently producing vehicles that many considered to be less than visually appealing. The Allegro's attempts to balance a small external footprint with maximized internal space led to some unusual design choices, notably the rectangular steering wheel. Marketed as a space-saving innovation that provided improved legroom, this feature was a peculiar sight and functionally questionable. contributing to the car's quirky reputation. And that's all the time we had today, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon on your way out. See you next time.